Rabbi Kaplan?
And the first paragraph of Tehillim, he says, Lo kein Rishoim, ki im kamot asher tidfenu ruach. That's the Rishoim. It's just like straw that the wind blows it away. Oh, everything you see the hatzlachas and the tovlos, it's not real. Who says the real truth is? What do we know what's called hatzlacha? What do we know what's called tovlo? Maybe it's all the ralo, maybe it's all bad. I was reading in this book from this Yosef Wallace, the head of Arachim. So he wrote a book in English. It's called Incredible, I think the name of the book is. And I was reading there, he tells about an old friend of his. Yosef Wallace, he was born in Eretz Yisrael and went to America when he was 12 with his parents. He different struggles in America. Then he came back. He joined the army. He became a Baal Tshuva, and then he became a Talmud of Reb Chaim Greineman, and he headed Arachim all through Reb Chaim Greineman's guidance, which is interesting in itself. He tells a story about somebody that a friend from his youth, a close friend, that they grew up together in the Bronx. And this friend was caught in the mafia. The mafia asked him, wanted to get him to join them, and Yosef Wallace, also the mafia, wanted that he should join. They both joined the mafia, but after a while, Yosef Wallace, after a short while, he saw this was not the place to be, and he found a way to get out of them. But the other one stayed there, and years and years he became successful, and became rich, and he had an office and everything. Years and years later, Yosef Wallace called on his old friend, and he asked him for help in a certain thing, a certain problem. I think it was that there was a Yid that was caught in Russia by the KGB, and Yosef Wallace said this old friend of his was Russian originally, and Yosef Wallace asked him for his help, and he managed to get the person out, because since he was from the underworld and he had connections with the Russian mafia. Anyway, the end was this person said to Yosef Wallace, look at what good friends we were. Look at what different ways we went on. I became a mafia man, and you became a rabbi. And well, man, so he says, so Yosef Wallace said, well, maybe you should come, or the other one, he said, maybe I should come and be with you for 2 weeks, to stay by you, and I'll see your way of life, and maybe I'll understand. So Yosef Wallace said, yeah, good, very good idea. Yeah, you're welcome to come to me. So this person went on he says, first I'm going on a cruise in a ship, and then I'll come to you afterwards. He went with his wife on a cruise, and he dropped dead on the boat. And the wife called up Yosef Wallace and said, we were together on the boat, we were having such a nice time, all of a sudden he dropped dead. They think he was poisoned. Look at that. His brain was poisoned. No, they don't know, they'll never know how he was poisoned, why he was poisoned. But if you're in that world, it's not so hard to understand. So look at that. He was successful. He probably had a nice house. He had a wife. He had money and everything. All of a sudden, while he's enjoying himself on the cruise, he's just died all of a sudden. In one rega, finished. It doesn't have a kiyum. And who says that Hashem wants hatzlacha? Hashem wants our struggles. Hashem wants that we should have pain. Yeah, He might want we should have pain. And we should say, you know better. Just to raise the eyes to heaven and say, Hashem, you know better. I think my sister did that. I think she was successful in if I'm seeing the whole picture clearly. I'm not sure of myself. But this is what I saw, and this is what I talked to her on the phone when I talked to her. And she had these pains not about the rush of it, Dovlo. No, we don't have rishoyim around us. But why is it that others get ahead, or matzliach, seem to know what they're doing, and I don't? And it ate at her, and she had pain from it. But she did her chasodim, small chasodim, because of this sensitivity of that we have to be magbir the tov on the Rashi. She did small chasodim. She said that she greeted the people in the street nicely. She took a walk with a woman, a depressed woman. She used to take walks with her. She used to do other things that I don't know about, but a little bit I heard. That's and together with this feeling of being a failure and doing these chasadim together, that's the Eini Roscha, that's the Mipsori Azelukah. I think she was a success in that way. She once said to me, I don't care, let them all be mutzlachim. I have good children and I'm happy for that. Kilo, I'm the real mutzlach. I know I have good children, Baruch Hashem. We have to take this lesson, and I would suggest for myself, I'm suggesting to myself that let's try to focus on the Chasdei Hashem. Let's more try to focus on the good that Hashem gives us. Let's have more kavanah when we say Birchas HaShachar, Pokeach Ivrim, Malbish Rumim. It's also Li Kol Tzorki, everything I need. And Elokai Neshama Shenosat V'at Nefachto Bi. Shem sent me back the Neshama. Let's concentrate on this more. Let's think more when we say these brachos, what they mean. Well, Victor Miller said that Hashem is mashpia good the whole time. He's good. It's like, just imagine it's raining good to the world. You complain, you're making a blockage, you're not letting the chesed come down. Be happy with Hashem's chesed. Let me try to do this Lila Nishmosa. People, when they come doing in a base oval, they put lists of all the Masechtas and Mishnayos, and they say, we'll give out the Mishnayos, we'll finish Shisha Siddur Mishnah by the Shloshim. But it happens very often that people take on to learn a certain amount of Mishnayos and they forget, and then the last day they start saying real fast. What kind of is that called learning Mishnayos Lili Neshama? I don't know. I don't know. I guess maybe it's better than nothing. But maybe we should do some kind of a Shviras HaMidis. Maybe I should do a certain Shviras HaMidis Lili Nishmasa. That's something you can't just say it and finish it. Let's try to complain a little less. And this, I'm sure this will be a zchus for her neshama. Tiya nishmasa tzrura b'tzra chaim. And it should be Macha Hashem Elokim Dima Me'al Kol Panim B'cherpas Amo Yosef. And Bekarav, it should be a Kitzuv Ranano Shechmei Ofer, and they'll all get up, and we should soon have Gula Shleima and Tchias HaMeisim B'mheira V'yameinu.
Amen, amen. Thank you, Rabbi Kaplan.